Now you're already sitting there.
You're going to sit here?
Good morning. When you jump on, say hello. My name is Michelle. I'm with Snow Fox Designs. And this is my husband, Ken, who wants to be a first-time creator. So he is going to do a project for you all today. And Ken, take it away.
Okay, so truly this is the very first time for me, so I am a novice, so be easy on me. I've not tried any of this before, and Michelle's given me some direction. So what we're going to do today is called Snuggle Bunny, and I'm going to transfer this over. And so there it is. The first thing we do, yeah, Michelle did mark the corner here for me so I could get the transfer off easy so I wouldn't be struggling to do that as we're going live. So I'm going to take it off of here. Now, as you notice, this is already marked on the back, so I know to put it back on the shiny side after I clean the transfer. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to fuzz up the sticky side, is what I'm told that's called. That's so it'll come off easier when I pull it off, and I'll be able to get this off with a lot more ease. So I'll fuzz that up a little bit. And I'll pick this back up off what I call the fuzzer.
It's called the tacking cloth, or some people call it the Grinch cloth.
And I'm going to try to lay this on my little board here, getting as centered as I can with it. Bear with me one second. I try to get this on here. So it looks like I've got this on. I'm going to.
Well, you want to make sure there's no air bubbles in there anywhere. And if there is, you can pick it back up and pull it out to make sure all the bubbles are out. Now, you have one right here. I would pull it back up like this and then try to lay it back down.
Is it centered well?
And move it.
Or should I center it better?
If you feel it needs to be it's a little crooked, then go ahead and re-straighten it.
Okay, I'm going to straighten it back out because it does look a little crooked to me. Maybe I should have done that with my glasses on.
Hey, there's a lot of us that have to take our glasses on and off when we're doing this. Sometimes it's easier to start from the top and then lay it down instead of trying to just put it all straight on.
Okay, so now that doesn't look centered, but it looks good enough for me. So I think it's going to turn out fine. I'll make
Go
sure
in
I
one
have
direction, yeah, and make
bubbles
sure.
on this. And truly, this is my first time touching any of this. I got a 5-minute synopsis of what to do before she turned the camera on.
5 minutes? It's been more than 5 minutes.
Maybe 7. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So now the color that we're using today, that decided to use, is called Azure.
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 That's the way I
Azure.
say it anyway.
It's a bluish color, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this up.
Don't get it all on the sides, because if you get it all on the sides, it starts to dry. So kind of when you're done, scrape it down so it's all in there.
So I'm going to mix all this up a little bit so we have it all mixed around.
Smooth and creamy.
Take this out and sit it right here.
That's fine.
Okay. This is called
a squeegee.
A squeegee. There you go. This is called your squeegee. I'm going to put a little blue on it. Now, from what I'm told, that I'm supposed to just put a little bit on at a time. Don't overdo it. And just cover all the white. Don't be sloppy with it. So I'm going to go over all the white.
Well, you're probably going to need a little more.
I probably will need more, but I'm trying not to be too sloppy with it here.
And you don't have to press real hard. Make sure you cover all your corners. You got a little right there. There.
Okay. So I know this is a real simple piece. For me, it's, like I said, received my box a few days ago, so it has a few of these things in it. This was one of them. I kind of just wanted to maybe go live and show my box, but Michelle had different plans for me. So I'm trying to not go over the sides too much. I'm trying to just keep it all just covering the white.
Now you might want to flip it the other way. Yeah.
This way?
Well, you didn't get it all right there, so
Okay.
kind of flip it a little way. If you don't feel comfortable, keep pulling it down. Just flip it. But if you can get it all the way on the other end, that's fine. And then if you have any excess that you want to get off, since you're using the one color, you can kind of scrape it off a little bit and put it back into your jar.
Okay, don't look like there's a lot of excess on there. Now I'm going to stick my glasses on and make sure that I've got everything covered and didn't miss any pieces of it. So that's what I look like now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead, and you think it's good enough to go ahead and pull the
Yes,
stencil
but
off?
let's move this out of the way so you don't knock it.
We want to move this also?
Yeah.
That's the fuzzer. We're moving the fuzzer. So now I'm going to find an end here where I can pull up.
And you don't want to pull from one corner or the other. You kind of want to pull, like if you're pulling straight down, because you don't want to stretch out your
Is it best to pull down or up?
transfers. Well, I'll hold it. Pulling whichever way is easier for you.
Hold it.
Go ahead.
Yay.
Then I'm going to take this for a minute. We're going to put it in a tub of water, and when he's done with this, he will show you all how to clean it.
So right now, before I dry it, this is what we have. It's what it looked like.
Now, before you dry it, you need to, where's my water wipes? I'll take my water wipes. I always keep these around. Do you have any on your hands? If you have any on your hands, wipe it off so you don't smudge that anywhere or get it on yourself.
I'm surprised I don't have it everywhere with the way I usually do things.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to give me your stir stick and your squeegee, and you're going to close up. You're going to close up that so when you turn on the heat gun to dry this, you're not drying your chalk paste out.
Okay, so closing up my chalk paste
Okay.
and giving that to the boss.
I don't know about that.
Okay, so now I'm going to turn my heat gun on. I'm supposed to hold it
No,
way-
you don't have to hold it that high. You can hold it down.
Hold it down here to dry. You don't
Move
want to
it
get
around.
you don't want to get it too close. If you get it too close, what will happen if you get it too close?
It'll dry real fast. It depends on some of your heat guns. Some of your heat guns, it gets super hot, super fast.
Yeah, that gets pretty hot.
And the way to tell that if your project is dry is a lot of times it'll be like kind of shiny, and as you're drying it, you can see that the shine is going away, but you can take your finger and touch in the spot and see
Oh,
if any comes on your finger.
I'm not going to touch it. If I touch it, I'll probably smudge it.
If it's dry, you will not.
Well, if it's not dry, I'll smudge
We
it.
can always fix it.
So do we think it's dry now?
Check it with your fingers. Just kind of touch it like that.
I can't tell.
See, nothing's coming off, so it's dry.
Okay, so that's dry. So we'll put my little heat gun up.
And there's your board and base. You're going to
Okay.
put it in the base.
So now I have a board and base. I'm going to put this in. And this also came in my package, my box. And sometimes this is a little hard to get in from what I'm told.
Yeah, here. I always try on these because they are a little to go to the one end and try to push it in and scoot it over. But this, for some reason, these are real hard. But that's what it would
Okay.
look like. Show 'em.
So that's what I ended up making. Now, not bad for my first time, I don't think.
No, it's
Not spectacular,
pretty dang good.
but
Now-
then I need to tell you how to clean up.
Yep. Now he's got a little tub here since we don't have a sink in here.
So you can reuse these stencils.
Yes,
So
especially
I
if
have
you
a
keep
tub.
them.
And what I'm going to do is with this little, I guess this is a Mr.
It's like
Clean
a sponge.
sponge.
No, it's a sponge. Put
A
it in
sponge?
there.
And I'm just going to take all the blue off of it.
Mm-hmm. You can press harder than that to try to get it all off.
Oh.
You have to do it on both sides. I do it on both sides. Make sure the stencil inside is all clear. and you get it all off as much as you can. Now, some colors, like I've noticed your blacks and your reds, you can clean it all off the stencil, but it does sometimes leave a little discoloration.
So this is what I usually do. I'm usually the cleanup person on any craft project.
That is not true. I don't know when you've cleaned up one.
That would
Other
be what
than
I'm
this
good
one,
at. But
okay.
Actually, craft. Everyone has crafting skills. But
Now, see how that is? Now, you can do one of two things. Well, probably several. Some people may do others. You have this cloth here in the other side. You can just leave it lay here and dry. Or like I do and some others do, we'll take it and you can hang it like if you have like end of your table. You want to just let it hang a little bit on your table, you can do that. Or some just on the edge of their kitchen counter and just let it hang there and let it dry for a few minutes. And then because you already have it marked, you know that when it's dry, you can put it back on here. Now there is other ways of cleaning these, especially the smaller ones. You get your distilled water and you can spray it across if you have a towel or something that you want to clean it on, and use your scrubby brush sponge and clean it off.
So the fuzzer has two uses. It fuzzes and it dries.
Yes. Don't pull it by one corner, because a lot of times if you pull them by one corner, it'll stretch it out. And you don't want to stretch your transfer out. There's something on here, so I'm going to get it off. Okay, now you're going to put it back on.
Okay, so now that we've cleaned it and we've marked our sides so we know it's going to go on the shiny side, that's telling us not this side, so we're going to put our stencil
it's
back
easier, a trick that was given to me, because I always wanted to do it the opposite way and put this on top of here, but it was easier for me, and you can figure out which one works best for you. You may have to stand up, I don't know, you might be tall enough, and line it up on here so the transfer's back on there. You might have to pull it off more than once, because sometimes it's hard to line up, and you really don't want too much of that in there. So you might want to pull that back up and put it back on.
Okay, I didn't line it up well enough. Let's try this again. And if I don't do it, I'm going to let Michelle do it.
Get it up higher. Higher.
Shoot. I don't know how perfect this needs to be, but I'm going to try.
Close enough.
No?
Yeah, but when you're doing it, when you're trying to do it, and don't let it roll, because sometimes you get these transfers to roll and they get stuck, and then you have to try to straighten them back out. And sometimes that can be a big ordeal, trying to, especially when you're working with the bigger transfers. So try not to let them, as much as you can, try not to let them roll over.
So you don't want a fruit roll up. You want it to be flat.
No, because if it gets stuck, sometimes they're not as easy to pull apart. And see, since it's smooth down here, what I would suggest is coming back up here and pulling this part up and then smoothing that back out. My hands aren't working that great this morning.
So truthfully, with these small transfers and this simple project that she showed me, that me being the first time,
Then
if you were wanting to batch a bunch of these for something, maybe you were wanting to use them for a centerpiece on a table or something, you could probably do 20 of these pretty quick, you know, in 45 minutes, I would think.
Well, and if you're doing a batch of them,
at least.
You don't necessarily have to use your heat gun to dry them. If you have a big enough area, you could put them all off on the side and let them air dry. And then you just put it...
Now, I do have a question. The board that I put it on, do those come in different colors, or are they always white?
That's I don't think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Magnolia has a black one, but I will have to check. However, you don't have to use Magnolia surfaces. You can go to like Hobby Lobby, Michael's, estate sales, garage and yard sales. Some of us have even made our husbands stop and say, hey, I want that, because we've seen something laying on the side of the road and or the expressway. As long as it's safe, be safe when you're doing it. I know that even going into like Home Depot and Lowe's, sometimes they have some items in there that you can get. Now, sometimes on some of your surfaces, you might want to put a little wax on, but for the most part, I haven't had a problem with using surfaces without putting wax on it. And it's just like a little bit of wax, so, you know, your transfer doesn't really stick to the surface in that. But anyway, you did a good job. Yay. You feel better now you did your first one?
This was my first time touching any of this.
Okay, and next time we're going to throw you in, you're going to do 3 colors.
Okay.
Not just kidding.
Just
kidding. Anyway, we appreciate y'all jumping on. And if you're on now, you see the little red button up at the top, so you know we're live. If you jump on later and the red button's not there, then you're watching replay. Say hashtag replay. If you want to leave any comments, I will go back and I will answer them for you. We appreciate y'all jumping on.
Please leave comments.
And or sharing. And if you're new, if you push the 3 buttons up there and click for notifications, you'll know when I come on or we come on. It's probably going to be a ritual almost on every Saturday at least. Maybe if I can get him to come on, maybe if I can get him to come on some Wednesdays and Thursdays, maybe during in the morning or in the afternoon, we'll do projects together. Anyway, we appreciate y'all coming on, and thank you for being so kind to Ken. And hope y'all have a good rest of the day. Have a good one. Bye.